Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my podcast, Make a Change. My name is Katharina Schuster and I am the founder of Katharina Schuster Coaching and the Lean Forever Method. This is my podcast where we are talking about different topics about fitness, health, nutrition. My big mission is to debunk all of those misinformation that there are outside about nutrition and weight loss marketing scams, and also inviting big numbers, big people in the fitness industry to discuss certain topics. So you probably have seen in 2 episodes ago, we had in the beautiful Holly Baxter, and last week we had in the beautiful Michelle Kilduff. So with Holly Baxter, she's obviously really deep into research, especially building the glutes, the shoulders, because it is for her own development as well, what she's doing for her own fitness goals. And Michelle Kilduff, who actually has been my coach in 2024, and we worked before in 2023, I believe. So when I was first dealing decided to get help, when it was really, really bad with binge eating, emotional eating, that all was coming back to me. And so I actually hired her only to lose weight, but then it got so much deeper in actually fixing the root cause. And then I hired her back in 2024 to get me through my very first contest prep. And actually I got all my emotional eating very much under control. Otherwise I wouldn't have set myself up to do a contest prep. But towards the end of the contest prep, sorry, I got an itchy nose. Towards the end of the contest prep, I was kind of falling back to those habits, to those triggered and disordered eating patterns. And I reached out to a psychologist at this time because there was something deeper really sitting in there, and it was really, really good that I had this psychology to help, because it helped me so much to develop my own actually making a move forward with my own fitness goals. And also in this way I was way more aware of my clients, and also actually was very able to help my clients even better, because I was more focused on them rather than on my own disordered eating behaviors. And I think as a coach, we often get into those, we often start studying nutrition or doing a personal trainer certification because of our own insecurities, I believe. So at least it was, I'm not talking for everyone, I'm only talking about myself. So I decided to start studying nutrition becoming a nutritionist. Later then I more qualified into an accredited sports nutritionist, and I did a PT certification on top, because I thought, oh yeah, if I'm doing this, I have to be like super skinny. At this time, when I first started studying, I interrupted my studies and continued another time. I was still in that skinny mindset, and luckily that skinny mindset is out of my head. And this is where I also want to help my clients not being in that skinny mindset, because skinny doesn't help us to actually be healthy. So it doesn't mean that skinny is a bad thing, but what I mean is if we want to lose body fat, no matter if we have to for a health reason or if we want to for an aesthetic reason, all legit. Like I did it mainly for aesthetic reasons. But I really needed to learn how to build muscle, because when we are building muscle, this is actually what creates the form of our body. So when I talk to potential new clients, when people reaching out to me and asking for a consultation, I have a conversation with them, usually via a Zoom call, and we go through a lot of questions. Okay, why are you here? Why do you want to do that? And what is your goal? And often when we go through the goals, it's like, I want to tone up. And it's okay, what does toning up mean for you? I say, I just want to get like a nicer body, nicer shape, and I want to lose some weight. I say, yeah, okay, cool. But usually I then go start, how do you feel about muscle building? And it often is like, oh, no, I don't want to build muscle. I don't want to get bulky. And for that reason, watch that episode that I did with Holly Baxter. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to actually get bulky. And for us women, it is actually, I would say, almost impossible without having PEDs. Like if you're really following a structured workout program and really working close to failure, what most of us don't do all the time, and like really pushing through every week, no excuses, then we can build maybe 3 millimeters of muscle thickness in a year. So that muscle thickness, it is actually from the, like when you see here my biceps, okay, that's actually a stupid example. It's like from the surface of your bone, where the muscle starts. So the muscle is attached to your bone, and then from the surface of the bone until the end of the muscle. So that's from the bone to the end of the muscle. It's called muscle thickness, and this is measured by a B-mode ultrasound. So with that thickness, that's like 3 millimeters. So basically, I'm just turning around my camera a bit. That here, that's the muscle thickness, and there's also some body fat in there. So that's not all the muscle. And that is like 3 millimeters maybe, that you can actually build. And that research that people do where they measure, okay, they build this and this amount of muscle thickness during a set period of time, those people are like supervised with personal trainers, researchers, so they like pushing them on other reps so that you're really having that proximity to failure or even going to absolute failure. And if we are training without a trainer in the gym, we probably train hard, but maybe not training all the time within proximity of failure, because this is not how we train. And especially, I often see it with my clients when they're based in Darwin, like if they're based on the other side of the world. So at the beginning of this week, I actually signed up a client. Well, this is actually coming out of Tuesday, so I'm filming this episode on a Sunday morning. So basically, when you're seeing that video, that was last week. Last week I did sign up a new client, and she is in Germany. So if people are being on the other side of the world or being on the other side of Australia, so that's obviously online coaching. And but when I sign up people, they're based in Darwin, it is still online coaching, but I do catch up with them in the gym and go through them with throughout the training program, so they know what they're doing. So often I ask them, so okay, we are here, set up the bar rack or set up the leg extension, set it up for yourself, and start doing your first set the way how you would be doing this. And then I usually go through, okay, so usually then I do make some adjustments if I need to, and explaining then what they have to consider. But then I ask them, okay, how many reps do you have left in the tank? So I often need to actually explain. So there is a measurement that's called RIR, reps in reserve. So when you're hitting failure, that's an RIR of 0. To build muscle, you should be within a RIR of 3, between 3 and 0. So often they even don't know what it is. So I need to explain that, which is absolutely legit. I'm not blaming anyone here, but this is already a good indicator that people actually don't know what it means, training to failure. So they might have built some muscle because there's some sort like newbie gains, but your body is adapting, and the more your body is adapting, the more we need to increase that intensity. And if you have never learned how to do that, you very, very far away from getting bulky. Yeah, often I ask them, okay, how many reps in reserve do you think you had? I said, oh, maybe 10. And sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. I'm still sometimes wrong about it. It is really a practicing, because it is an estimate, but the more you practice, the more you get better at it, to know where is your right intensity level to be within that proximity of failure, to be able to build muscle, to build enough stimulus but not enough stress on the muscle that the muscle actually has the chance to grow. The second part is the nutrition. So often, like when I sit down again with prospects, so how much time do you go to the gym, or how many days you go to the gym? Oh, I go to the gym every day. So, oh wow. I train 4 times a day, and I'm training for bodybuilding competitions. So often they, like I had the other day, I was talking to a prospect, and he actually signed up with me. So I said, okay, what is your goal? So I wanna grow my chest. So beautiful, cool. Guy, of course, for guys it's like arms, chest, back. Okay, how many working sets do you do on your chest per week? I said 4, and then I asked again, so is that per week? He said, yeah, I do 4 sets per week on my chest. He said, what are you doing the other days? So he's doing like 1 chest, and he comes again, does some arms, and he comes again, does some back, and then he does a lot of running. So look, if we want to incorporate cardio, because he wants to improve his running as well, his cardiovascular fitness, I said, that's absolutely fine, we can do that. But if you want to build muscle, we should turn the focus on muscle building. And we need to do more than 4 working sets on your chest. Especially since you have been doing this for a while. I actually can't remember how much he said. I didn't make notes. So body has probably adjusted. So at the beginning he might have seen some results, but since the body has adapted, he has to do more and more again. So, and this is the other considerations where a coach can be actually very, very beneficial. So let's get started. So often when I meet with people, there's often a hesitation, which I can truly understand. Because especially often I sit down with people who never had a coach before, never worked with a nutritionist or a dietitian or a personal trainer, and it is like outside the comfort zone, and they don't know what they are getting themselves into, and they're very hesitant in investing that money, which again I fully and completely understand. But then it's like, so I go through the questionnaire, says, okay, what is your goal? So I want to lose body fat, I build some muscle. It's okay, perfect. What have you been doing so far? Not really much, on and off. It's okay, so we have a problem of consistency. Then the next point is, how is your nutrition? Do you track? Do you follow meal plans? Or I don't think I want to do this. It's okay, don't worry. We do have actually a lot of protocols how we can navigate your nutrition. We don't have to live off a strict meal plan. I'm personally not a fan of meal plans at all. I'm a big fan though of flexible dieting, which requires putting your food on the scales and weighing your food, putting it in an app, and then ideally hitting your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fat goals. So there's a way of where we can navigate nutrition and maybe easing in. So for example, we are saying, or we just track the protein. Don't worry about tracking your lettuce and your vegetables. Eat as much of that stuff as you want. So that often keeps people like, okay, I probably can do that. And then it's about time availability. It's often because we're busy, all right? So we're freaking busy, we have a job, maybe you're a mother or father, you have children, and you have the after school activities, so you don't know if you can make it to the gym. So often when I ask, okay, how many days per week do you think you can go to the gym? Or would it be alternatively, we can integrate a home workout? Is this something that you could consider? And so yes, we can do probably, I can probably go to the gym, because often they say gym because they do want to go to the gym. I said, yeah, I can probably do 3 days. Is it perfect? My clients train 3 to 4 days per week. That's all. It's okay. how much time would you spend per session in the gym? So yeah, maybe up to an hour. So often people, when they are going to the gym, so what I get from out of conversation is that, so when because they're often quite time poor, so when they're actually making the time to go to the gym, they want to get the most out of it. So it's that probably around an hour, maybe after that, jumping on a treadmill, getting some steps in. And so yeah, okay, perfect. Actually, most of my workouts, they're going like 45 to 60 minutes, depending on your training level, like how advanced are you. If you're a bloody beginner, we're not doing an hour of training. We're doing maybe 30 minutes and then maybe hop on the treadmill, do some steps, like walking, not actually cardio. And then from there, we're working our way up. We see what we can do. Because as I said, when we are getting more advanced, we do need to increase the intensity. But it doesn't mean that you have to live in the gym. We can really focus on what you want. For example, if you're a guy, you probably do not care too much about your booty. So I still a big believer you should still train every single muscle of your body, but we can definitely have less focus, maybe just one exercise on your booty and that's it. And then really, really focusing on your arms and your chest, because this is what the guys are really looking at. So we're prioritizing that. So this way we are prioritizing what you're looking for. And so you don't have to live in the gym. For the girls, we want to have like a nice booty. We maybe want to have some toned arms as well and a sexy back. This is what us girls want. So we would probably more prioritizing the lower body part. We still would do upper body, because even as us women, we want to make sure we're having upper body strength, but we are not focusing on 3 different chest exercises and 20 biceps curls and things like that, because this is not what us women are after. So we're really focusing on like gender specific things, and then also what that particular person is looking for, what parts of the body they are most important. Like I actually did have a woman like long time ago, probably around 4 or 5 years ago. I trained a woman and she loved bench presses. So we put bench presses in her workout. Fair enough. So and then it's often, so time, that is something that can be fixed very, very easily. Then often it's a stress. So that comes down to communication. Really communicate with me what you're going through. Why are you stressed? What can we do to help you navigating that stress? And how does that stress affect your goals? Is it like making you eat a lot, like going you into emotional eating? Are you just grabbing a lot of sweets, a lot of chocolates? Or are you someone who doesn't eat at all then? And then the next point is, how does it affect your mental health as well? Are you just like throwing everything overboard and stopping doing it and said, no, I can't do this now? Or are you someone who is willing to work through it? And this is actually where coaching comes in as well. So as a coach, we want to, or I'm in particular, I don't know if every coach is doing that, but I want you to communicate with me. Obviously, we need to build up the trust, but once we have a trust level, communicate with me, tell me what you're going through, and then we can really jump in and we can adjust your nutrition, we can adjust your training. I offer mindset coaching as well. So I am not a psychologist, but I've gone through a lot of shit myself, and I have worked with a lot of people. Like I have on average 35 clients, and I've been doing this for 5 years. So you can think like people staying with me. I do have a handful of people who have been with me for years. So my longest client has been with me for 4 years, and I got 3 clients, I think 2 or 3, who are with me for a year now. And everyone else is between 3 and 6 months with me. And on average 35 clients over 4 years, 4.5 years. You can think how many clients I have been working with. So, and they're all very different. Every person is unique, and with every client you learn as a coach as well. So we're doing the weekly check-ins where we're going through your training program, your nutrition program, what went well this week, what didn't go well this week. I want you to put down a win for the week. And it doesn't matter how big or how small that win is, it is still a win. And because we need to boost your confidence and making sure you're trusting and believing in yourself that you can achieve your goals. And so I usually say to my clients, because often when they are hesitating to sign up with me, they are often like, oh, I don't know if I can do that, I don't know. And it's that I'm telling it now on purpose, using the money, no, I can't afford, as an excuse to get away. It is what it is. So usually when that comes up, I ask them, okay, you don't trust me as your coach that I can get you there, or don't you trust yourself? And that person I have talking to you about earlier, who wanted to increase his chest muscles, he actually told me, no, I don't trust myself, because he has been over the last 4 years on and off and on and off. There's definitely a trust problem, inconsistency, and following hardcore diet or hardcore extreme plans. That is impossible for someone who is busy to keep up. Like, I'm very busy myself. If I would be putting down my calorie like crazy low, if I would need to set up a workout plan, it's like 6 days a week, and cardio on top, I would not be able to do that, because I would do it for a little while, but then I would break up because of those low calories. I would be so exhausted and fatigued. I would not be able to focus on my job, and I would have no strength to lift heavy in the gym. So that's why I found for myself that way of, like, I'm training 4 days. My workout sessions are actually quite big because I'm very advanced and I'm training for a bodybuilding competition. So just for that situation, it is very intense and they're big workouts, but still 4 times per week. But my calories, they're still manageable. So I'm giving myself enough time to be able to achieve that goal with the time I got available, with the tools I got available. And this is the same that I'm translating to my clients. And I'm not sure what else I should tell you. It is not scripted, as you might have noticed. So I'm just turn on my camera and talk. So, but I do think about certain things I want to talk about, and then I keep going. But that was probably my main things, because time availability, money, the trust and the belief in yourself, the trust and belief in the coach, the experience of the coach, and a big thing also is your priorities. Because often when you're saying, no, it's not the right time now, it's okay. Is it your priority to lose the weight now? Is it your priority to build muscle now? Is it now the priority to improve your eating habits? If you say no, it's not a priority, then the whole thing doesn't make sense. But also on the other hand side, if you're talking about money again, the price, because it is an upfront payment, so the price, it looks scary. Is it so? Fuck, that's a huge amount of money. And yeah, it is. I'm not gonna lie. But this is the price that you're paying today. So what we need to think about, so okay, what is actually more expensive? Is it the price I am paying today, or is it the cost that I'm paying when I'm prolonging my goals? Let's say you're being a bit overweight. You need to lose the weight because you might be in danger of diabetes, you might get any other health issues, high blood pressure, high cholesterol levels. You cannot be able to keep up with your kids maybe because your fitness levels are too low. You're getting out of breath very quickly. You have trouble carrying home your shopping bags, going up the stairs because the elevator is maybe broken. And also in terms of your nutrition, we all know we have to eat protein, and I believe people more and more going away from being scared of carbohydrates, but it is still present I still work with a lot of women who are scared of eating carbohydrates, but it's getting less. So we're getting to better times in terms of carbohydrates. And yeah, I think people know more and more about nutrition, but it's still like not knowing how to adjust it, like when we're going out to restaurants, when we are going out to an event, when we're going on a holiday. Often all the good habits that we're having throughout our work week, they kind of get thrown over when the weekend comes, when we go on a holiday, when we go on a work trip. So you can achieve your goals with holidays, with work trips, with family dinners, with pizza nights, with having a drink out with your friend. You can still do all of those things and still achieve your weight loss goals or your muscle building goals. If you're building muscle, you have a little bit more flexibility with calories. Often we don't have too much flexibility when we want to lose weight, but it is again really depending on the person. Like I had a client, she was able to lose on 1700 calories. I start usually my diet around 1700, 1800 calories, but towards the end of my dieting phase, I have to go down as low as 1200 calories, which is pretty hard. But this is just metabolic adaptation that sets in. And then we have to, when that dieting, because a diet is a phase, yeah, diet should be not a lifestyle. So when that is finished, your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, which is the amount of calories you need to maintain your current body weight, considering your current physical activities, that TDEE, that will go lower when you're losing weight. So when you have lost like 10 kilograms, your TDEE is not 2500 calories anymore. It's maybe 1800 calories, for example. Don't trust the numbers right now. I'm just making it up. But see what it is, and that's often what people don't know unless they have studied nutrition or being just very well educated. That came out wrong, I guess, but like unless you educate yourself a lot about nutrition, reading books, following professionals, then you probably know these kind of things and know how to calculate it. But most people, they don't know it. And I know that because I have been working with hundreds of men and women, and nobody of those knew it. I think I had one person, she was studying nutrition. She probably knew about it, but she still wanted my help. So considering all of those things, that will, if you know how to navigate that, then you actually be very good at keeping up the weight that you lost and keeping it off for a very long time, ideally for the rest of your life, because you know how to adjust. And often we eat nothing or like eating very little throughout our work week because we may be too busy and not really thinking much about our tummy. But then when the weekend comes along, you just, oh, fuck it, and you maybe calm down. Then your body is basically playing catch up, getting all the calories back, because our bodies actually don't want to lose the weight. Our bodies are very smart, but our bodies also do not understand if we have to lose weight for health reasons or want to lose weight for aesthetic reasons. So our body is protecting us, and therefore we need to put in a strategy that makes our body understand, okay, we're doing this now, but I'm still giving you all the fuel that you need, so you're not being deprived. So even if we are dieting, so I'm dieting, I'm just under 1600 calories at the moment, but I'm still making sure I get my carbohydrates in, so I'm being very fueled for my hard workout sessions. I'm still making sure I'm getting a sufficient amount of protein. I'm still eating my fats because I want to be healthy and making sure that my hormonal health is also fine. And I'm still having some hot cross buns, I still have some chocolate, I still have a glass of wine, and all of those things. If I wouldn't be able to do that in my dieting phase, fuck, I wouldn't do it. So that pretty much brings me to the end of this episode. So it was a lot of back and forth. I hope it didn't confuse you too much, but please reach out if you do have any questions about it, if you want to know more about it. Also, I put my link in the description if you are interested in one-on-one coaching for me. I'm blending in my Instagram handle here. So if you want to learn more about me, I'm very active on Instagram. on Instagram, I'm posting 2 to 3 times a day. So you can learn a lot about who I am, what I'm doing, the results of my clients, and all sorts of things. So have a look if you're interested, and yeah, let me know if you do have any questions. I'm more than happy to reach out and answer all the questions that you might have. And therefore, I hope you have a beautiful week, and I catch you next week.